up? What's up? What's up? Y'all know who it is. It's your girl, Dr. Deetra Cotton, your Better Life coach and cheerleader. Okay, being both for you, coaching you through becoming better and cheering you on to living your better life. I am back with you on our Better Talk Tuesdays. It's Better Together Talks, where we are together with somebody and we're talking about life's challenges, life's upsets and setbacks, but how biblically we can formulate a plan to become better through it, right? That's becoming better after being brokenhearted, disappointed, depressed, if it's from loss and all of those great things. So those of you that have been with me the last few Tuesdays, last week I had one of my sons on with me, Josiah. This week, I have another one of my sons on with me, and I will let him briefly introduce himself.
What's up, guys? My name is Jonathan. I'm one of her other sons, and I'm a guest speaker, I guess, on whatever series that I haven't been keeping up with that my mom has going on. But uh, in terms of mental health and uh, Bible and faith, I think they're something that goes hand in hand. So I'm not really prepared. So I've spent a lot of time in the mental health world as well as the Christian world. So I'm just here to lend my 2 cents, or I would even say a penny. I don't even have to. So thank you guys for having me on with y'all. And hopefully I can be of some help and assistance, as well as get some help and assistance. So yeah, my name's Jonathan, aka No Like, and I appreciate you guys. Happy holidays. Hope you guys had a great Christmas, great Christmas Eve, time after Christmas, and I hope you guys have a awesome New Year, New Year's Eve coming up.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I am kind of glad you brought that up. New Year's. And that's one of the things that I want to talk to you all about. And those of you that are here watching, I want you to go ahead and put your name, your city, and your state where you're watching us from. Give us some hearts, some praying hands, some thumbs up. Let us know that you are on and listening. Those of you that are coming on, go ahead and share this video or share the fact that we are live. And if you're watching the replay, go ahead and share it even after. I know that someone's going to be helped and be blessed. And so the last couple of sessions that we've been doing on Tuesdays in the living room setting, right? We want you to feel comfortable. We want you to feel at home. We just want to have better together talks. Just sitting here together, chilling out with one another and having just real conversations. And so I had a thought process that I want to share, or I want us to just talk about together. That's why I have Jonathan with me. And we've been talking about worshiping in the winter. And the winter season isn't a season on the calendar that I'm talking about. It's a season of the soul that we're really like, chicken soup for the soul kind of thing. The winter season that I'm talking about is not just actually a snow and it gets cold and this, that, and the other physically, but I'm talking about in our souls that there are times where it's a winter season. And guess what? The winter season doesn't always have to come in October, November, and December, right?
Right.
A winter season can come in the springtime for you. It just depends on what's happening. It's just a time where it identifies certain things where you can be feeling the blues, you could be feeling alone, isolated, you could be feeling cold in your heart. You could be feeling like the people around you are cold-hearted. You could feel like maybe there is nobody here that understands or cares. There's a whole lot of things that go on in the winter. The wintertime, it gets darker faster. It could be a season where your soul just seems dark. It seems black. It seems dismal. It seems dark. It seems like I can't see my way out. And so it's a season of the soul, and many people smile through the holidays, but many people are privately battling heaviness, depression, loneliness, sadness, exhaustion, all of these things. And so that's why we call it, or we're referring to it as the winter season. So I just want to say these things. Depression is not a lack of faith. Let me say that when we deal with the Christian world, right? It's not a lack of faith, the reason why I'm depressed, right? It's a feeling, it's an emotion, it's an overwhelming emotion for several different reasons. And I want to say this: worship is not pretending that everything is okay. I want to say that for people. Worship is not pretending that everything is okay because I'm still blessing God in the midst of my depression, or I'm still worshiping God in the midst of my bad moments or my bad feelings. So I'm not saying fake it. I'm just saying realize that God is good even when things are not going good. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Um, and God meets us in the winter. God is not scared of your winter season, nor is he leaving you alone in your winter season. A lot of times, we feel like, where is God? Why is God not showing up? Why is God not answering? That's why last week we talked about worshiping while waiting. But let me say this to you: in your winter season is where God is probably most present. Most present. He doesn't show up after the season is over. He shows up while the season in your life is going on. So I want you to learn to lean in on him more, right? Even in the midst of this time, learn to lean in, learn to trust God, learn to talk to God more and depend on him more. I'm in a season right now, even in my winter season, where I'm learning now that I need to trust God. You know, sometimes we can trust people, and we put our confidence in people, and it's not that people want to leave, and sometimes people have to leave. Sometimes their season in our lives is up, and sometimes you become dependent on them, or you get used to them. And it could be a loved one that died, or moved away, or a friend that you've had for a long time, but now they've gotten married, or now they moved to another state or to another country. So there's so many things that occur. Or maybe it's just a relationship that God says the timing for this relationship is up. It no longer serves you, it's no longer beneficial. But because we're creatures of habit, we get used to something or someone, and then when it's taken away from us in a certain way, it causes us that feeling of, I'm alone. What am I going to do without them? Or what am I going to do without it? If it's my job or my car or my apartment or whatever the case may be. In some instances, it could be a pet. I don't know. Um, but the Bible speaks to the soul psychology, and it helps us understand the mind, and they both matter. So the mental health piece is very, very important. Would you say that, Jonathan?
Yes, I agree.
Um, so with that being said, I want to just deal with any like Bible characters or Bible people that you feel like may have had some winter seasons.
Um, some off the top of my head I can think of are Elijah.
Okay.
I know at some point after dealing with Jezebel and uh, I forget the kingdom that she was a part of, and doing a lot of God's work, that at some point he was exhausted to the point that he has
Yeah.
to die.
Yeah. Yep.
And,
Yep.
and was asking God, he couldn't go any further. And God really had to work with him and deal with him there. I know David had a couple of winter seasons. You can read it all in the Psalms.
And if y'all got some while Jonathan is doing that, y'all go ahead and type some up in the chat while y'all listening. Go ahead, David. I was thinking about him. Go ahead.
The prophet Jeremiah.
Mm.
Here was a crybaby, a lot of depression and sadness, having to do God's work and minister to God's people, even if they weren't receptive. And another big one, and we might not think about this, is I think even though his were a little bit more brief, but he was here a lot briefer than a lot of other characters I was talking about. Samson's a good one too, but Jesus, I feel like Jesus had
Perfect.
brief winter seasons, being the Son of God and Son of Man. Uh, I feel like in some passages, when you really look into it or read into it, Jesus had times of sadness and things not working out how he would have wanted it to. And I find those to be powerful. And then you have other people too, for sure, throughout the Bible. I know his disciples went through a lot of winter seasons and other prophets and stuff, but those are some, Moses too. So I think those are some, I think a lot of major characters in the Bible had winter seasons and down times for sure. Hmm.
For sure. And you hit some really good ones that I also had here. I had David, I had Elijah, I had Jesus, but just while I was
Oh,
sitting here, oh, somebody says
great
Job.
job. Shouts out
Very
there.
good, very good. And then I was thinking about Naomi.
Hmm.
She got to the point where she was just like, look, don't even call me Naomi no more. Just call me Mara. Call me bitter. Call me angry. Call me mad. Call me sad. Call me depressed. Do not call me Naomi. And this was because of the things that had happened in her life. And she just started going through a winter season. Her soul was heavy. She was burdened. She wasn't feeling her greatest, her happiest. These were not her most highest moments that she was having. And so I said that to say I want people to realize that you're not alone. She's good. You're not alone in this journey if you feel this way. And Jesus, I think my son even made it clear that Jesus okay. That Jesus even himself had those Gethsemane moments where he was not in his happiest day, not in his happiest time, not in the greatest season of his life. And so
Hannah's a good one too, Gabrielle. Yes,
who
ma'am.
was it?
Hannah.
Hannah. Oh my gosh. Yes. I don't got my glass. I don't have my glass. Hannah. I mean, it said year after year at the same time of the season that she was going to the temple with her family, she would have this same depression. And let me say this to you all. This winter season, it comes in cycles. It comes in cycles. And that's one of the things that I want us to be aware of also, that there's certain things. The thing that triggered her in her depression or her sadness or in her winter season is when everybody started going to the temple and they all had children and she did not. That triggered her. That triggered her emotions. That triggered something in her soulish realm. And when we're trying to get over, and that's some of the things that I want us to start talking about tonight, is when we're trying to really navigate this season. One of the things that we do with regular seasons, Jonathan, to prepare for the season, what do we do? Like when the spring comes or the summer comes or the fall comes and the winter comes, what do we do? And some people can put it in the chat too. What do we do to prepare for the season? What is one of the things that we do when we know a season is about to change?
Um, I'll answer your question, but I think I wanted to give a shout out. Well, I know I
Oh,
wanted to
okay.
give a shout out to Grace Glow Flow because I think it's segueing well into this next topic. Um, the winter season is a big challenge for everyone. I think scientifically it's now being considered seasonal depression. Uh, and yes, what mom's saying is very important to prepare for that. So being mindful and checking in with self and knowing if this is your time of year to where you get hit. And personally, I get hit very hard during this time of year. Well, I'm really prepared for it. Maybe I'll go into that a little bit this year. It can really affect you. But I know some things we do for the spring is spring cleaning, trying to declutter and throw things out. I see Abby too saying new wardrobe. Yeah, we try to change up our fits. We go put up the winter clothes. We
Exactly.
go get the spring clothes. We try to clean up our diet. We trying to look good for them dresses we finna get in, for the suits for the guys. So I know a lot of materialistic changes go on when the spring comes, for sure, for example.
Absolutely. When seasons are changing, we prepare. We get ready for the new season. We start buying bathing suits for the summer. We start buying shorts and tank tops, right? But when the winter comes, we start getting out sweaters and coats and jackets and gloves and scarves. And so even when these cycles come, the person that had made mention about Hannah, she knew the cycle was going to come when it was time to go to the feast, when it was time to where everybody would gather from around the town, and she knew everybody was going to be bringing their children, and she did not have any children, and that brought on that sadness, that brought on that depression, that brought on that those feelings and those soulish emotions that caused a winter season in her life. Now it may not have been winter, but it was her winter, and I want y'all to know that these things come in cycles sometimes. And then before the cycle comes, like if you know in November somebody passed away, or that's a trigger time of the year that you remember when something really sad or something really bad happened to you. Don't let that season jump up on you and you not get prepared for it, right? Mentally, emotionally, physically, all of that good stuff. And I want to say this, and then I'm gonna let Jonathan kind of tag into some things that he's been integrating into his lifestyle of preparing for mental health challenges, because it's real. I see Pastor Jackie on with us because this thing is real. Even in church, we got to stop acting like people in church, just because they're singing and dancing and saying hallelujah, that they're not going through their own personal struggle, that they're not silently suffering, that they're not going through a winter season in their life. I'm wearing a smile, but that doesn't mean that everything is going on well on the inside. And so one of the things that Jonathan was talking about, and y'all could put this in the chat, it's called SAD. And it would be like for the psychologist in that realm to name this SAD, but SAD is actually a mental state. As the winter increases, SAD stands for, do you know what it is?
No. What
Okay.
does that stand for?
So SAD stands for seasonal affective disorder. It's actually a disorder. It's a seasonal affective disorder. Pull it up on your phone. You got your phone? SAD. Does anyone feel like winter makes you withdraw more emotionally? Absolutely. Absolutely. I feel like the winter season does make people withdraw more because people want to go home. They want to get out of the cold. Whereas in the summertime, they would have hang out, they would have hung out. They would have hang out. They would have hung out with you longer. But when people are standing outside and we talking and we're gathering, or girl, you want to go out tonight? Nah, girl, it's too cold. Nah, girl, it gets dark too fast. Nah, girl, I can't drive at night. There's all kind of reasons now why people are leaving gatherings or leaving fellowships or leaving their friend in the evening or from work just to go home. To do what? To be at home alone, or to be at home just watching TV, overeating, emotional eating, right? All of those things start taking place um in the winter. In the winter, it increases. And the things that they say increase in the winter is SAD, seasonal affective disorder, isolation increases in the winter, fatigue increases. You feel tired more in the winter. It says rumination increases, and the brain, listen to this one, and it is also psychologically proven that the brain holds on to emotional residue unless we process it intentionally. In the winter season, the brain holds on to emotional residue more in the winter than it does in other seasons unless we process it intentionally. That means unless we prepare for the winter in advance. What does it say about SAD?
So, according to Google, SAD is seasonal affective disorder or seasonal depression is a type of recurrent depression linked to seasonal changes, typically starting in fall/winter with less sunlight and ending in spring/summer through less common, though less commonly it can occur in spring/summer, which is some of what you were saying. It doesn't exactly have to be winter for you to experience your winter season.
Right.
Everybody's unique and fearfully and wonderfully made. And so your season can be a hotter season. Common symptoms for the fall and winter onset is feeling depressed, sad, or hopeless, loss of interest in pleasure or in hobbies, or loss of interest or pleasure in hobbies, low energy, fatigue, feeling slowed down, difficulty sleeping or oversleeping, increased appetite, craving carbs and weight gain, trouble concentrating, social withdrawal, irritability, and thoughts of, sorry to get a little bit heavy, of death or even suicide, which is why we see a major uptick in this time of year with people calling it quits a little too early. Causes and risk factors include light, the fact that there's less sunlight, it disrupts your body internal clock, circadian rhythm, and affects mood regulation, neurotransmitters like serotonin. And I think I heard Mom say that we are creatures of habit, but we also need to focus on the fact that we are creatures. And during this time of year, a lot of animals, mammals for sure, they're hibernating, they're overeating, they're gathering food so they can go into that kind of shutdown mode, so they can kind of regenerate and restore and have a break and get away from the dangers that come with winter. They kind of just cut it off altogether and just wait for spring. I do want to say shout out to Auntie Jackie, shouts out to Donald, shout out to the family rolling. Thank you guys for interacting with us and being online today. I'm finna finish up. Location, where you're located, is a risk factor, more common in areas with less winter daylight. Further from the equator. Demographics, it's more common in women, especially between the ages of 20 and 30. And history, family history of depression or bipolar disorder increases risk. You knowing what you're susceptible to and understanding who you are makes such a big difference in how you can prepare and fight through this holiday season. Treatment and management includes light therapy, phototherapy, using a special bright light box early in the morning, psychotherapy, cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, tailored for SAD, medication. We don't really want to push that, but if that's something you need to just get through and then you can get off of it and figure out how to do it yourself, please. And lifestyle, regular exercise, getting outside, bright light exposure, good sleep hygiene, stress management, and supplements, vitamins and supplements, something I'm big on. Making sure your body's getting all the nutrients it needs to help you fight and get over.
Absolutely. Thank you, Jonathan, for sharing that about SAD. And you could Google,
please.
You could Google it just like he did. But SAD is a real affective disorder. And if we as believers, we need to be wise as the serpent and harmless as a dove. We can't just keep overlooking stuff and going, oh, this, that, and the other. No, we need to be intentional about worshiping through it, getting God involved in it, getting the wisdom, like Jonathan said, getting off the medication and finding out the wisdom of God. And I'm going to let Jonathan really deal with some of those things later on, because he's really been getting good at some of the things that we can do that God has downloaded to him of how to help with mental health, help with being sad or having this seasonal affective disorder that can happen not only in the winter, but it can happen in the spring, summer, and or fall, right? We got to realize that we are emotional beings, but we've been created that way. God wants us to experience the whole gamut of emotions. He doesn't want us to overlook any of them, but we can't get stuck in an emotion. You understand what I'm saying? The Bible says you can get angry, but it says, but sin not, right? The Bible also says, don't let the sun go down on your wrath or your anger. So it's not that you can't get angry, but it's not beneficial for you to stay angry, right? It's not that we'll never get sad. It said Jesus wept when he found out that his friend Lazarus had died, right? So it's not that you can't get sad, but you can't get stuck in sadness, right? These emotions will come and go, but we've got to learn how to fight. The Bible says if you resist the enemy, then he'll flee, then he'll run away, then he'll back up. So we got to resist with not becoming exhausted, overworking, which is one of my challenges, right? Because once the body and the mind starts getting exhausted, it starts shutting down. It starts getting depressed. It starts getting overwhelmed. It starts getting weary. It starts doing the things that now it cannot do. And so some of our mental illness or our mental challenges we bring on ourselves because we don't follow the rules that the Bible has given us about resting on certain days. And yes, I'm talking to myself, right? That rest is very important. That Jesus knew when to leave the crowd, right? And say, yo, y'all can get on the boat, but I'll meet y'all on the other side. I got to go by myself now. I can't. I done spoke to 5,000. I done fed 5,000 and more. I done performed miracles. I done had people touching the hem of my garment. I done lost virtue here. I done cast out demons out of people's kids. I've been doing all this all day. I got to shut it down. I got to go and retreat. I got to get to myself. I got to go where I can rest. Even when they was on the boat, right? Remember that? They was on the boat. And it said that the storm came, the winds was blowing, the tempest raging, and it said Jesus was where?
Jesus took a lot of naps.
He was downstairs under the boat in the little cabin, sleep, taking a nap, honey, getting some rest, sugar. Honey, wasn't concerned about nothing that was going on. Wasn't concerned about it. He was tired. And so he did not, even as Jesus, he did not find it robbery. He did not find it less than. We got this hustler mentality. I can't talk about nobody else. I can only talk about myself, right? We got to hustle, 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 hustle. We got to go, 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 go. So we ain't doing that. We not getting nothing done. I'm finding out the more I rest in God and the more I seek and search for him in my resting state, I get more done because he gives me the wisdom on how to get it done right away, faster, quicker, instead of me running my own wheels in my own thought process, in my own opinion, because the Bible says, lean not to your own understanding, right? But trust in the Lord with all our heart so that he can direct your path. And then the scripture also says, he that buildeth a house without God, he said, your labor will be in vain. Right? So sometimes we could just be going. And God's saying, if you had just rest, and in your resting, you give yourself the opportunity to hear more clearly. Resting is like decluttering, right? It's decluttering the noise of going. Resting is shutting down the noise and hearing one voice and one voice only, right? And then letting that one voice give you the strategy that would have taken you 40 years like they did in the wilderness. It should have only been like a 12-day or 14-day journey. He said, I can get you there so much faster if you would just sit still and trust me. You got anything to add, Jonathan, on that?
Yeah, it's like the scripture says to just be still and know. Sometimes
be still.
You're running your gears and doing a lot of times, and I know I suffer from this a lot. A lot of the times we do too much. We do too much. Sometimes you need to sit down, quiet yourself, like my mother is saying, and try to hone in on the voice of God. There's too many voices in your head. It's just adding to you wanting to lose your mind. And so I see some comments. Auntie Jackie, I love you. You already know. But the family rolling are bringing up some good points. The winter holidays plus family gatherings equal a mental health workout. Yeah, especially if you're going through seasonal depression, already getting hit hard. Having too many other energies and frequencies, even if they're your family and even if you love them. We're all flawed and got our own things that could be a little bit too much for you. Something you'll have to be mindful of, and something I'll talk about a little bit later: CBT and DBT and checking in with self. And so I see your question: how do you stay connected with people when the winter makes you want to isolate? I have
Mm.
two suggestions. Everyone's different. This is not an exact science, but I'd say one, this isn't your year. This isn't your year. You don't have to be around everyone this year. If you don't want to stay connected and your body's really telling you to cut off, don't stay isolated, but take that break so that you are good enough when you do want to return back to your community. You don't have to, like, again, Jesus had to take that time. Didn't want nobody around. Didn't want his disciples around. Didn't want Lazarus around. Didn't want Mary Magdalene. Just had to take some time for herself and return. Walking on water, doing crazy Jesus stuff. Moses had to go up to Mount Sinai to listen to God and not listen to all the Israelites complain and put thoughts and suggestions in his ear. So yeah, that would be my first suggestion. The second suggestion is I would say that at some point, I wish society, at least, or at least in your community, if you could test and see if this would work, would be more honest. Like Mom said earlier in the talk, that uh, we're faking it. We're putting on a good smile. We're putting on a good mask and just walking throughout society, and you're hurting. And I think that's the majority at this point in human his history, that a lot of us are hurting and just smiling through it because it's the societal status quo. I think if we could be more honest in our
Mm.
community and tell each other how we're really feeling, you'd be shocked, first of all, to see that a lot of other people in your community are hurting, and y'all be better at coming together and having a community like event or getting together to work on that instead of doing frivolous, menial things that's either hurting you or not doing anything at all. So I just wanted to get that out the way. Could you repeat your question one more time, what I was supposed to be answering? Just wanted to say that.
Oh, what was that question again? I don't remember. I don't remember. But yeah, but we've got many more
Mhm.
questions that we could go into. But so I want to say this to Jonathan. What? So this is a question that I do have here. What are some mental or emotional challenges that tend to show up for you during this season? If you don't mind sharing.
Hmm. No,
And that's
first one.
everybody in the chat. It's just a question that I'm posing. I just happen to be sitting here with Jonathan.
Um, so I know for me, at this time of year, this is my seasonal depressive year point or season, I would say. I know it's already in the name, seasonal, but winter is when I get hit the hardest. I feel like this winter I got hit pretty hard, so I was able to take a better account of everything I've noticed in years past. And I would like to say that I'm just now learning this stuff, which is kind of sad because I wouldn't take the time, even in the winter, to kind of check in with self and uh, journal and write down how I'm feeling and what I'm doing that's different. But I would say the major things that I go through at this time of year is wanting to isolate. And I always want to do that. But at this point, at this time of year, I really don't have a want or motivation to want to talk to anyone. Uh, Extreme fatigue. I'm always dealing with fatigue. I suffer with mental health issues and stuff. I'm fighting through it, getting better. But at this time of year, I could sleep all day, every day, if given the opportunity. So I get very tired, very fatigued. Um,
Do you
my
find that more so in the winter?
Yes, in the
Oh,
winter for sure.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Um, I would say my negative tendencies or the toxic thinking, something I've really been working on this year, is become a lot harder to manage and deal with this time of year. I'd say I would say I've been working on it all year. I'm just saying this time of year, I've been failing at it. Despite all the hard work I've been through. Overeating is a big thing for me at this time of
Yes.
year. I've really got to watch it. I like to double, triple, quadruple down on sweets and carbs. Carb overload is a real thing. mom and all the aunties who know how to cook are coming over and making big meals. I'll get 3 4 plates and knowing I only needed one. uh, and there's science behind the fact that that's soothing. It's not good
Very much
for
so.
you, but it'll help soothe, get your mind off of things because you're getting that serotonin boost, that feel good boost, with the food that you're able to kind of cope. It can be used as a coping mechanism. I've used food a lot this time of year. um,
I think a lot of people do that.
it's a big
I
thing.
think it's a
It's a big
big
thing that we
freaking
don't talk about
thing.
because it's society and we all want to be trim and not. Yeah, I'll be the first one to say I can go over. I have been something I got to work on. Uh, and I think the last one is self sabotaging and overindulging in a lot of other vices that I shouldn't be,
Mm,
kind of numb me to the point to interact, which is why I'd say if you can interact with people, don't do it to hurt yourself. Um, but for all my negative tendencies, they seem to eat at me more, and tempt me more, and I indulge in those a lot more. Uh, so, yeah, those are just some things I deal with a little bit, not a little bit, a lot more during my seasonal depression. Those are some things I'm suffering with now and constantly, every season, but this season for sure, it's kind of amplified.
wow. I didn't think about that last one. You
And you're
know,
right, family rolling. Sorry to interrupt, but that extra weight gain doesn't help. Again, it's a bad vice, but it does make you feel heavier having all those low frequency foods in your body. Family rolling. Yes, man, family
abs-
rolling. I'm sorry.
absolutely. No, that's good. Yeah, overeating, emotional eating, and we call it the holidays, or whatever, whatever. But we go overboard, and I think we use the holidays as a crutch, or as an excuse as to why we're eating so much. But you can discipline yourself during that time. You don't have to eat the whole cake. You don't have to eat the whole sweet potato pie. You don't have to eat, all of the marshmallows in the hot cocoa and things like that. But it gives us the space and the place to go ahead and do it now, and that emotional eating. And so now we're eating that stuff, and it ain't the holiday anymore. It's the month in between. It's the month after. And now you're still snacking, laying in the bed, up under the covers because you're trying to stay warm, watching a movie by yourself, and just eating and eating and eating and eating and eating and eating and eating, right?
It's
And
stuck.
so
You're very stuck.
it's part of the psyche, though, of the mental health challenge of how do I get through this. And yeah, I'm going to church on Sunday, though, but I'm 15 pounds freaking heavier, right? And then that's now starting a low self-esteem issue for me, because now I don't fit my clothes well. Now I don't look good. Now people are not talking with me, or I'm not getting a mate or a boyfriend or a girlfriend, and now I'm alone for the holidays. I don't have anybody to buy gifts for it. Nobody's buying a gift for me. So now guess what I do? I eat more ice cream and more chips and more pickles and more Snickers and more chocolate bars and more cakes and more cupcakes and all of that good stuff. And now I'm cooking for myself, and I'm making more cakes and cookies and cupcakes, and I'm eating them alone. Guess why? Because I'm not with friends. I'm not connecting. I am isolating. All of these things are still going on. Good evening, Pastor Shauna. Yes, ma'am. Um, so yes, this is like a vicious cycle. Hey, Jazzy. Jazzy. Um, but he also brought up this. Just come sit and leave alone. He also brought up this, the vices, right? Drinking may become more prevalent in this season. Alcoholism is becoming more prevalent in this season. Now, when I'm feeling depressed and I'm feeling sad and I'm alone, I might have got a glass of wine when I was out with my girlfriends, right? And somebody would say, "Girl, you on your fifth, your sixth, your seventh class, or whatever, whatever. You need to slow down or whatever." But when I'm at home alone, up the whole bottle, possibly, right? Because I have no one to check me. I have no one to hold me accountable. I'm not going nowhere, so it don't matter if I pass out. I'm in my own room. I'm in my own house. I'm in my own place. I'm in a safe spot. I'll just drink until I just fall out, till I just fall asleep. And some of the sad was that it was hard to sleep, right? Part of it was not only is sleeping part of it, but then there was the lack of being able to sleep, right? Insomnia. So with that being said, um
Cuffing season.
cuffing
Getting into
season.
bad relationships.
Oh,
to
I
the
didn't even
job,
know
to
what
the
that was.
flow. Yeah.
How?
Finding the wrong partner to stay warm.
Come on,
Could
honey.
just mess up your whole year and years after.
And years after, right? Is this how people start making Christmas babies or however be it may? And it could be with one night stands, just somebody I wanted for the holidays. Just because I feel sad for the holidays, I just pick up anybody and somebody. So at least I'll have somebody to hang out with, somebody's family to go to, or whatever. Knowing that after this holiday is over, deuces, I'm out. Didn't really want to be with you anyway, but I used you. Oh, what? I used you to help me cope through this season. Well, you done said something there. I didn't even know what a cuffing season was. Honey, done brought me to the light. Right? All of these things now take into play, but yet we are in church. We're going to Sunday services. We're worshiping through the winter, but are we really dealing with the nitty gritty? Look like you had something you wanted to say, Jonathan.
No, I think.
Are we dealing with the root of the issue, or are we just dealing with the fruit of the issue? Right? We see the outward appearance or the things that we do, cuffing or over drinking or overeating or getting into other vices or isolating too long or not wanting to come out. But what is the root of this? Yeah. Right? Why am I in this cycle? Why does this happen every winter season? Especially when it is exactly a winter season seasonally, right? When it is actually cold, when it is actually snowing. And some of us are in certain states where we do get snowed in. That even if we did want to go out, we can't go out. Where the temperature has dropped so low that even if you did want to fellowship with somebody, ain't nobody having nothing because everything is shut down. Now we have no choice but to isolate. Now we have no choice but to be alone. Now we have no choice but to start overeating. Now we have no choice but to find that bottle up under the cabinet that we was trying to hide from ourselves and only keep for company when they came over. But now there's nothing left. You know what I'm saying? So there's sometimes that season is infringed upon us because of the weather and the season. This is really getting good. So posing this question, and hopefully Jonathan can help us with it. So how do you navigate faith when your mind feels heavy or clouded? Like, how does the rays of faith come through these heavy, dark clouds of I'm drinking, I'm smoking more, I done booed up with somebody that I really don't like. I'm just tolerating them. But I go home going, oh my God, I don't really like this person. I mean, like, how do the rays of my faith come through all of this overeating, being undisciplined, and not having friends and family and laughter and love being all around me? How does my faith break through all of this? Anybody, somebody, Jonathan.
I would say, and I'll dive into it more, but not just being a listener of the word. You'd have to be active and doers of the word. And we were saying this before, that involves you putting in maybe even extra effort during the winter season. And I know it seems paradoxical and almost backwards in saying that you'd have to put in extra effort when you have so much less energy to give, but you'd have to put in that extra work to keep the light shining, because yeah, all that muck and darkness and sin and negativity can kind of take those rays away, and then the natural body kind of shifting and changing with the seasons can cause you to forget or get down or shun it completely. But this is when you'd have to press towards the mark even more. So get more into the word. Choose to listen to more faith-based programs or media. Don't doom scroll on TikTok too much. Don't allow yourself to fall into the pit without making a conscious effort to keep that light close to you. Um, and I would say before this, if you know winter is your time of year, to already take active steps throughout the year to make sure your armor is as fortified as it could be to get here. Because I will admit, at this point, if you were already weak in faith, you could just get swept up in the whole storm. So, uh, for anything I'd say, or any advice I'd give, the CBT, the cognitive behavioral therapy, and the DBT, shouts out to Coach Cotton, the dialectical behavioral therapy, being mindful of who you are, knowing who you are, and understanding how you need to move to stay in uh, alignment with God and yourself is so pivotal to surviving things like seasonal depression and the light fading from your faith. And know that Jesus was born without fanfare. The song Silent Night really brings home the fact that Jesus was born in a farm, in a stable,
Silently.
by himself. His mama struggling, his dad not knowing what's going on, and he rode into town on a donkey. So just because you can't hear God right now doesn't mean he's not speaking and moving on your behalf. It just might be a silent night for you, and to not just give up and fall away from the faith completely and try to pick up the pieces at spring after Easter when you realize he is risen. Sometimes this is just a silent time for you, and to hold on to what God has promised for you during this season. So don't lose heart either, or don't faint during this season either. Take care of yourself, listen to your body, and do the heavy lifting to ensure that the faith, the light, and the faith doesn't fall away from you. And the light will come again. Weeping endures just for a night, but if you can make it till morning, you gonna party and realize that what you did was the right thing, and that wasn't even as bad as you thought it was.
That was good. That was real good. And guess what? To break through all of that stuff, all you need is faith the size
Just a little bit.
of a mustard seed.
Just a little
You say,
bit.
well, I'm not going to be able to get all my faith to overcome this depression and this cuffing and this. Nah, all you need is a little bit.
Yes, you can.
All you need is a tiny, 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 tiny bit for all of this overwhelming feeling that seems like it's so big in the big old mountain. All you need is a tiny little bit of faith. So let me encourage you. It's not going to take a whole lot. Just say, God, I believe this season. And Jonathan said, weeping may endure. This season may endure for a night. But joy will come. You just got to believe just a little bit that joy will come. Things will get better. It will change. The season will change, right? If you faint not, don't give up. And I like what he said. Maybe it's just a silent night on purpose. Maybe God is saying, I want you to be isolated so I can talk to you more in this season. I wanted you to shut it down and not have so many connections so that we could reconnect, right? So maybe it was a silent season for a reason.
Maybe the community you need to have is with God and not your friends.
He was trying to get you ready for the spring by saying, retreat with me in the winter. Be silent with me in the winter. Come hibernate with me in the winter. Store up the encouragement and the empowerment and the words that I have for you in the winter. And so maybe if we change our perspective of why maybe we're being quiet, Jonathan quoted this earlier, be still and know that I am your God, right? That this might have just been a season where he purposely orchestrated for you to be still. Know that I am God. Get, gather up your squirrel nuts and gather up all of the blubber and the fat that you can during this season. Gather up and warm up because it's going to be time to spring forth. It's going to be time to come out. It's going to be the time where I'm going to push you. I'm going to propel you. I'm going to catapult you. When David was on the run from Saul, thank you, Holy Spirit, it said he ran him straight into a cave. It said David was in a cave, but guess what was being built in David? His character. Character was being carved out in the cave moments. The cave is dark, it's stinky, it's lonely, it's cold, it's dripping with water. There's just a whole lot of unsavory feelings in this cave. It could be a fearful moment that I'm in this dark cave, but guess what? Character was being built in David because he was already anointed to be king, but his character had to meet his kingship, right? And so for some of us, God is just propelling you into 2026, but he was preparing you in the winter. Oh my God, that was really, really good. So that's really, really, really good. No, you set up the whole trampoline for that right there, honey. You set that up. That silent night, honey. That silent night.
Testing, you've seen what you'll do. It's a character building. See, you said it.
This is a character building
like,
season.
I'm in my exams right now, God. I'm trying to see how I'll react this year.
Absolutely.
That was good.
Absolutely, right? So all you need is that little tiny, tiny, tiny bit of faith to come through this. Come through.
Flow. Embrace your silent night.
Yes.
Like embrace it.
Embrace the silent night. Embrace the sad moment. This is the time when we're most sad and we're most depressed. I think we cling more to the Father, right? We could be calling it a cuffing season. It could be a cuffing season to Christ, right? This is the time where I love more on Christ because I have no one else to love. Oh my God. Sometimes we've given our love to all the wrong people and to all the wrong places, that sometimes when we realize that there's a love that you can give and you'll get that love and more back. Oh my God. So I just want to drop these little things right here. What coping mechanisms have actually worked for you, Jonathan? Not just spiritually, but some emotionally helpful coping things that you've integrated into your life, especially during this season. Help the people out.
I'll try to give 3 to 5. And shouts out to Brady Bunch. Thank you for joining us.
Love Brady Bunch from the Chi-Town.
Chi-Town stand.
Chi-Town.
And we appreciate you for sure. Coping mechanisms. 1, meditating. Those yoga people, and I know it's not our faith, but those people with the Buddhism and the Zen, you don't have to get all up into the mythology, but that practice is, I see God and feel it. And I know you said not to get spiritual, but you'll find God if you really just sit still. That's to be still and know that, and focus on God, and be quiet. It really helps. So I try to take 5-10 minutes out. My dad tried to do it 2 times a day. But with the hustle and bustle, sometimes it can be difficult. But I do try to commit 1 time a day to sit somewhere where no one can find me. My safe space is usually my car.
That's okay. It could be the bathroom, but it's okay.
Right. Everyone has that space to where you got about 5-10 minutes before the zombies start attacking. To just quiet yourself. Try your hardest to tune out all the noise, all your anxieties, all your fears about tomorrow, all your regret about yesterday, all your insecurities. And you don't even have to pray. Just focus on nothing. And if anything, focus on your breathing. When you get more proficient, and that was going to be my other thing, put them together. You're meditating and you're breathing, but at least start with just quieting your mind, just going blank and going dark, closing your eyes and just being still. I have to take 5-10 minutes, and I try to make it 20 in total, but take at least 5 minutes to do that. Another thing is breath work. And out of everything I've done this year that I've focused on, and you'll get to this through CBT and DBT, being mindful of where you are and who you are and your surroundings and what's going on is something a lot of humans have to work on for your whole lifetime, mindfulness. But I've realized that I don't breathe well. I get very anxious and uh, I can get very stiff, and then my breathing becomes a little too shallow, and it's caused health problems for me in the past, and still does. So I have to be mindful to take complete breaths, get in some good oxygen. It helps quiet your central nervous system and regulates you. When we get emotional, you don't notice maybe in the time, but you can see that people's breathing gets heavy or again shallow, or they don't take complete breaths when you're angry or sad. So really being in touch and in tune with your breathing can do so much. It seems so simple and so stupid. That's why I put it off for so long. It seems like medication is the answer, but these simple things will change the whole game up for you. Randy, I appreciate you.
Shout out to my other son.
Yeah, that's the real one right
Man
there.
up.
Man Up Monday. Y'all go tune into that as well to continue getting some great gems and diamonds. Randy,
drop that link in the chat,
Please,
Randy.
I'll give 2 or 3 more. I did the mindfulness, no, the meditation, the breathing. Now I want to get into mindfulness, and I've been saying it throughout me talking, but it's really how I have to live my life now. And I learned this from my time with my sister Michelle, Coach Cotton. Y'all go tune into her as well. She gives some great insight on DBT, dialectical behavioral therapy. I'll try to do some justice, but she's a master disaster with it. Being mindful. And it can be difficult to do in this hustle and bustle society we live in. Something I hope we can all work on in the future as humanity. But throughout the day, out of the entirety of your day, you'll forget you. You're so focused on your children. You're so focused on taxes. You're so focused on getting to work and handling other people's stuff that you'll forget you, and it'll kill you. It'll kill you slowly and quickly. That's why you're more prone to crash out on a bad day. That's why nothing really bad happened this other day, but it was the straw that broke the camel's back because of all the tension and stuff you didn't address from before. And what mindfulness is, in its simplest term, is just being aware of what's going on with you and where you're at any set point in time. So if you feel your body already getting a little bit hot, if you're getting anxious, if you're getting mad, sad, perturbed, take a minute. Don't just you already know someone done lit your fuse, and 5 minutes from now you're gonna explode. How about you just leave and go get some water and try to diffuse it all together. Don't force yourself to suffer through your day. A lot of people don't care about you all outside, so take the time to care about you. Mindfulness. I'll say one more thing, and I don't think you can do without it, but keeping God first. I know we said don't have to do, don't try to get too much into faith, but I really can't see the combo not working in tandem. I really can't leave God out.
They're tethered together.
They're tethered.
They're
tethered. Mental
tethered.
health and you being okay and how you can cope. Put God in it. Put God in it. Reading a good scripture, listening to a good word on TikTok or on YouTube will do a lot for me, along with meditating and breathing. So I'd say hang on to your faith as well during all this.
Absolutely.
Some coping strategies for sure.
Absolutely. So I'm just gonna hit on some of them that he made, and maybe we could type them in the chat. But music is always good. Some real soothing music, some sounds. Sometimes, just listening to wind, rain, waves, high frequencies, or all of those good things. There's just some sounds that calm the nervous system. That's what they do. Just like the breathing also calms the nervous system. I remember this a long time ago. I don't think he'll mind. He would get over anxious and he would get real, in his anger moments. And I say, okay, Jonathan, let's just breathe. And he's like, I don't want to. No, just breathe in slowly.
She's been telling me to breathe as long as I've been having these problems. 10, 15, 20 years. She's been telling me. I just tried it this year.
Because it seems, just like he said, it's too simple.
It seems stupid
to work, ladies. So let's not waste my time with that. But oh my God, it is scientifically proven. It is medically proven that you can calm the nervous system by breathing deeply through the nose. There is a technique to it now. It's not just, it's not a panic attack. It's a technique to it. There's box breathing. There's all different types of breathing. You can Google all of this as well. If you need us to put some things in the chat for you, I will do those as well, right? But breathing helps calm the nervous system, to be mindful of your breathing, to be mindful of your heart racing, and then to also distract yourself. One of the things with mindfulness, not only how I feel, but start looking around at how high the birds are and how the trees are looking. And now is the time to take that walk, right? Even if it's 4 minutes up the block and 4 minutes back. And now be mindful of everything around you that now distracts you from your limited power to his limitless abilities, right? It refocuses you from all about what's happening to me to realize that this is a great big world that I live in, right? And God is so able to take care of the sparrow or the little itty bitty bird that surely he's going to take care of me. Refocus the mind, become mindful that not only should you have your mind, but you should start now taking on the mind of Christ. It's not that bad. This can be fixed. God is able to do all things. I can do all things through Christ. So now refocus the mind, being mindful that if I get in my mind about this thing, oh, I'm falling apart. I'm having a meltdown. Oh, I'm crashing. I'm going to become anxious. I'm going to become overwhelmed. That's all my mind. That's all my mind. And what we do when we become mindful, also adding it is not to how I feel, but now also, how do I shift these to having the mind of Christ, being full of his mind, right? Being mindful, full of the mind of Christ.
Christ consciousness.
Being Christ, come out. Being God conscious, Christ conscious. Christ conscious about everything. Before I start falling apart, what would Christ want me to feel about this or think about this or do about this? And in most instances, he'll say, be still. And in most instances, he'll say, ask me. Anybody lack wisdom, ask God. Real quick, so we can get off of here. Journaling.
Journaling is good. Great.
Journaling is powerful. Yeah. Again, very simple. People don't want to do it. Oh, this is a waste of my time. It's like writing in a diary. Yes, it could be your diary. Let it be told, the book of Psalms was David's diary, and some other songwriters and psalmists, it was their diary. It was the way that they were expressing themselves or how they felt. So yes, journal how you feel. Journal what's in your heart. Journal what's in your mind. If it's the sad, if it's the depressed, if it's the mad, if it's the angry, let it out through journaling. Okay? Journaling, right? Cool. Therapy. Talk to somebody. Find a therapist. Find someone who can counsel you. Find someone where you can dump and download and get rid of it, right? Go get that off your chest. Get that out of your heart. Get that out of your mind. Yes, Randy, Christ conscious. I got to be Christ. We're conscious about everything now, right? We're self-conscious. We're all of these things. Become Christ conscious, right? All about him and what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling, what I'm doing, who I'm with, what I'm getting with, what I'm connecting to. All of it should be Christ. It should be centered about me being Christ conscious to the thing, right? Quiet time. Jonathan already hit on that. I won't talk about. And last thing I want to say before we shut it down is boundaries. Hey! Boundaries, 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 boundaries. You must set boundaries. Jonathan is saying, even if you say, hey, yo, I'm going to have to step away from this for a minute. I'm going to have to step. I'm going to have to step. We're in the middle of a conversation. I understand. And I don't mind getting back to this conversation with you. I don't mind getting back to this incident with you. But I'm going to have to set a boundary right now. And I'm going to have to pull away. Jesus moments all the time. He set boundaries. We already talked about it. I'll meet y'all on the other side. Y'all can row in the boat together, but I'm going to walk on the water and I'll meet y'all over there. When y'all get to the other side, y'all meet me there. Okay? He set a boundary. When the woman came up to him and he referred to her and said, yo, I didn't come for your kind. Ah, I only came for the children of Israel. Only the children get to eat this bread. He was trying to set a boundary, but I'm not here for all of the nations out here. So setting boundaries. Sometimes you got to tell people, I didn't come for this. I came here to pick up this. I didn't come here to do this, right? I could talk to you later, but not today. Maybe tomorrow about that. Your emergency is not my emergency right now. I could get to that later, but I can't get to that because what will happen is now we won't become conscious of or mindful of where we are. That I think you talked about it, that we keep giving out to everybody, but then we don't give back to ourselves. You lose yourself in giving yourself to everyone else. Right. Jesus went to these 5 porches where there was sick, lame, paralyzed, all these people they said was laying in all these porches. It said that they would all try to get to this water when the water was being stirred and trying to see who could get in there first to get healed. Funniest thing is, and I can't get into it, but he heals one person. There had to have been hundreds of people out there that was sick, lame. That's what there was a lot of people out there. He heals one person. You think he went there laying hands on everybody out there? Be thou made whole, get well. All right, you come. Let me have my put hands on you, put your hands on you. No, he healed one guy and left. Everybody else stayed sick. Everybody else stayed lame. Everybody else stayed paralyzed. He came and he knew what he was supposed to do. And when he did what he was supposed to do, he left the scene. I only came here for this and I'm leaving. I only came here to do that and I'm leaving. I only came to do what my father told me to do. And after that, I'm out. We've got to learn when to set the boundary, know your limitation, and understand that that is part of mental health and mental healing is setting boundaries. I see some comments. What they saying, Jonathan? Boundary. I like that.
Randy has a great one.
I like that.
Hey, Randy, shouts out.
That was a shout out. Boundaries not only protect you, but it protects them from you.
The other party. Yeah. They might not see it in the moment. You have to be right.
You might be. I might be protecting you from me right now if I don't set this boundary. Right. If I don't set this boundary between us right now, I'm either going to hurt your feelings. I'm going to abuse you. I'm going to misuse you. I might say something to you that you shouldn't have. You know, man, that was powerful. Or even boundaries. When we talked about cuffing, that cuffing relationship thing that y'all almost taught me tonight. Sometimes I might get into a relationship with you because I didn't set the boundary. I knew I was weak. I knew I was exhausted. I knew I was depressed. I knew I was sad. I knew I was on a rebound from another relationship. I knew I was having all these emotions and feelings and that I should have never got involved with you because you caught me on a weak season. And now I just got involved with you just to be involved with you. Does that make sense what I'm saying? You didn't really want a partner, but that person put themselves in the way, and now I'm trying to protect you. Not only me, protect you from me, but I'm protecting me from you and vice versa. That was powerful. So we're going to close up tonight. We did get on a little bit later, but the thing is, and we'll probably talk about this next week too, but I'm just going to leave this thought with you all. How do you stop carrying this winter pain in this winter season into the new year? Man, we only got a few more days. Okay? You don't want to take this winter season, even though the winter season can still be there. You can still feel isolated. You can still feel disconnected. You can still feel a little sad and overwhelmed. And so I'm not saying it's going to be poof, the magic dragon, but we would have to start integrating some of these coping mechanisms that we talked about on tonight, right? Start integrating them when? January 1st? No, tonight. You might want to start breathing tonight. You might want to start just journaling tonight, even if it's 2 or 3 sentences. It could just be a grateful page. Just tonight, I want to just open up this brand new journal. Somebody just gave me this thing for Christmas. I didn't know what the heck I was going to do with it. It's so cute, I don't even want to write in it. Just go ahead and just start out all the things I've been grateful for or whatever. That's a good place to start. Start with some things that you could do right now. Right now. Become Christ conscious before you go to sleep tonight, right? Be mindful of him just being in your space and in your place. Be mindful of the fact that you might have been in a silent night season. I love that thing. Instead of being sad, SAD, why don't we just create our own? We're going to call it the SNS. We're going to call it the silent night season, right? Maybe you just was in an SNS season. You was having a silent night season. God was using that season for you to stay silent so you could hear clearer, better from him.
Your character.
And build your character.
Will help that light that we were talking about.
That cave character.
That'll help the light stay on.
Absolutely.
You'll get better with time, and then by next
SNS,
honey. Have such a hard silent night season, right?
Right? And we'll start embracing our silent night season. Matter of fact, we'll start looking forward to silent night seasons. Oh my God. Absolutely. And so I want you all, even after you watch this video again or whatever, just put it in the chat. Those of you all that are on YouTube or here with me on Facebook Live, myself and Jonathan, I want y'all to start putting in some things that you're going to start integrating coming into this new year. I'm not saying that your sadness and all of your depression and things are going to go away, but maybe we're going to take back one extra cupcake, right? And we're going to start tomorrow. I'm going to eat one less slice of pie and one less bowl of macaroni and cheese. You know, start working on coming out of hibernation, coming out of isolation, coming out of rumination, and all of those things that we talked about, and start realizing that, God, what am I learning in this season? What are you doing to me in this season? What are you changing in me in this season? What part of me are you transforming? Where am I actually evolving in this silent night season? This is like a cocoon season. You're in this cocoon. You're in this weaved web where you're tight in here and it's hollow and it's dark and it's lonely and it's only you. But that butterfly is going to break free in the springtime, and you're going to come out bigger, greater, and what? Somebody put it in the chat. Better than ever. We love you guys. Better. Somebody put it in the chat. Put up some hearts. We love you all. We thank you for being with us for this Tuesday night, the last Tuesday of 2025. Better Talks, Better Together Talks, with me and my son, Jonathan, who's in the background. We love you guys. We thank God for my administrator who's been here with us, so into the ministry so that we can continue to give back. We can continue to do more things. We can continue to have retreats, and we can continue to have talks. We can come together personally and do some more things, not only here in Georgia, but we can also do some things in Chicago. So those of you that can sow into this, we thank God. They're gonna drop that message again. Gabriel put something better. Hands, yellow heart, red. Randy Thomas, please drop that link for Man Up. If you got men in your life, I want you to go up to Man Up Mondays. There it is for YouTube. That time and everything for that channel, that's specifically for men and women that want to know how to deal with the men in your life or the man coming into your life and all that good stuff, however that is. But that is my son, and I want y'all to support him as well. Train your response ability. I love that. Train your response ability, your ability to respond correctly. I like that. Yes. Love it. Well, you guys, y'all bring it in hard. Y'all bring it in strong. Y'all come in better for 2026. If you have any thoughts, any questions, any comments, and you want to hit me up, DM me, you can hit me up. Text me if you have my phone number, but we are definitely here from you. And shouts out to No Like, my son Jonathan. Y'all can follow him also on social media. That's Johnny No Like, I believe it is. Am I right?
I've actually had to take a break from social media to work on my mental health. So hopefully if I'm on next time, I will have them up and running.
How many of y'all like Jonathan co-hosting with me on the show? If you love that, give shouts out and we'll make sure that we can have Jonathan back again. All right, guys, I love you all. God bless you. And remember, better is not a destination, but it's a journey. Respect the process and realize that we get better when we do it together. I love you. I'm Dr. Dietrich Cotton. I'm not only your Better Life coach, but I'm also your Better Life cheerleader, cheering you on to living your better life. I love you guys. Peace out.
Much love.
Bye-bye.
Check in with you. Take care of you.